Warning. Warning.
This show contains mature content. Listener discretion is advised.
Are you ready to get your mind blown?
One angry New York City Puerto Rican decided to start a radio show, determined to piss the world off by shoving a mirror in front of society's face. He kicked them in the balls.
What are you? Who are you?
This is the Crotch Shot Radio Show. Crotch Shot Radio Show.
This is not a test. This is a broadcast transmission.
We're going to stay on the air.
And now, the Whippy.
Yo, welcome to the Crotch Shot Radio Show, where we kick the issues in the balls. Today, I am honored to have. Oh my goodness, a lot of background over there. I'm honored to have fashion model Rain Dove, and I actually met her doing open mic comedy, and her story was like really interesting, and you know, growing up the way I grew up, I wasn't exposed to such things, and you know, it's good to learn new things. It's you know, open up your world to different ideas, different ways of life, so that way you don't become like some hateful, like pig-headed asshole from like the Westboro Baptist Church or something. So I'm honored to introduce to you androgynous model, Rain Dove. Rain, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty fantastic. How you doing there?
I'm okay. Well, first question, because this is a question I asked you because I didn't wanna come in sounding like some. Well, I am ignorant to things, but
I think everyone's ignorant to some kind of extent.
Yeah.
To something.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I didn't want to come off as some redneck racist. But what are your thoughts on? Should I just? Damn it! What's the first question should I ask? So many questions to ask.
That's a good first question. You should ask that question. What's the first question you should ask?
Oh, okay. What are your thoughts on gender?
What are my thoughts on gender?
Yeah.
Well, my thoughts on gender is that gender isn't a real definitive thing, that it doesn't actually exist on a scientific realm. My thoughts on gender is that it's a socially constructed and spiritually constructed identity that is reflective of a microculture, or whatever culture that you particularly live in, and I believe that it shifts and changes over time and is not to be confused with sex, which is your physical and scientific anatomy that you may be born with or change into throughout your life.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I mean, most people would think that what the sex that you were born with is your gender. Like, if you have a penis, you're a male, and if you have a vagina, you're a female. I mean, why do you believe that gender is not scientific and it's not defined by your genitals?
Well, I think that gender is an expression. Gender is what you do with how you feel about yourself. And I think that gender really has nothing to do with your anatomy. A lot of people can feel that they are a specific gender, but not necessarily have it reflected by the genitalia that rest beneath their, beneath their navel and between their thighs,
Okay.
And It can it's definitely, gender is definitely, it's cultivated by our society. Our society tells us what is and what isn't. Our society deems what science is, and our society deems what is usual and what is not usual, and and so yeah, I think it's a shifting thing. Your gender is, if you look it up in the dictionary, it's more of an expression. It's a personalized identity. It's not a set thing.
Okay, I'm gonna sound really dumb right now, but like, wouldn't that be what you're describing to be sexuality?
No, because sexuality is who you want to fuck. Sexuality really has to do with sexual orientation and sexuality. And sexuality, it has to do with your genitalia, and also how you identify with that genitalia. And sexual orientation, of course, is how you identify with other people and how they identify with themselves and how you identify together as a unit. So, if you put a grape and an apple together, you get this kind of fruit salad. And if you put an orange and an orange together, you get that kind of fruit salad. So
I am so going to get sued by the LGB community for you using that fruit salad joke. Okay.
Oh, no. I'm still learning about things myself. I grew up in a really oppressed environment. I grew up in a place where, while people were extremely democratic, they were also very puritanical and very conservative. Sex wasn't really a part of my talk growing up, and neither was gender identity or orientations, or even the opportunity to talk about the different, a world that is not binary. When I grew up, it was on a farm, and my parents didn't really even talk to me about the fact that I wasn't girly. They didn't really see that. What they saw was, can you lift up that 50-pound bag of grain? Can you dig a hole? Can you get your homework done? Can you herd, the goats? Can you milk a cow? It had nothing to do with, my sex, and my clothing was always very practical, and it wasn't really like, oh no, our daughter isn't dressing, in a way that is reflective of how people should dress with a vagina. It was more like, you want to dress in a way that's going to protect you from the elements and also keep you safe at work. And so it hasn't been until recently that I've been just, really exploring a lot of the way that our society has made a PC world, which is really complicated. There's a lot of terminology, and there's a lot of little microcosms and small little words that can offend people at any turn, and it's constantly changing every day. There's a new, different way to identify. So I personally just identify as a human being with specific anatomical capacities that's not limited to and or restricted by those anatomical capacities. And I'll sleep with who I want to sleep with, and I'll do what I want to do, and I'm going to do a lot of good stuff in the world, so get out of my way.
Well, there you go. But, okay, so I know you probably already answered this, and when you just answered it, but what gender do you identify with?
Well, gender has multiple levels. There's no such thing as one gender or another gender. Genders aren't male and female. They can be mixed. You can have multiple different feelings. Like, you like wearing particular things or expressing yourselves in particular ways, but you feel very, very connected to other parts of your identity that might be considered masculine. So for me, I identify with the female sex because I do have female sexual anatomy. But as far as a gender goes, I identify with every gender and all genders, and I identify as a human. I let people call me sir. I let people call me ma'am. I don't really care. People see what they see, and what they see is the truth, and I just let people refer to me however they see me.
Okay, so just as long as they don't say, you're late for dinner. That
right.
Sort of
if
thing.
they're a dick, I'm gonna definitely correct them. and be like, well, actually.
I take offense to that, Rain. Why is being a dick viewed as a negative thing? I like my dick. My dick is positive.
Right? Well, being
Damn
a
it.
cunt is also a negative thing. I use them pretty evenly.
Well,
You can. It's also a really empowering thing. I like to reclaim the power of words by using them in casual sentences, much to the dismay of many of my friends and my publicist, who's always saying it's going to get me in trouble.
I as someone who gets in trouble with speech all the time, ain't that sad that everyone is so fucking gets so fucking offended so easily?
Yeah,
and like they expect you to be responsible for it.
Yes. Yeah. People, it's hard because people go into the world assuming that everyone will understand them, but then again feeling like no one understands them. And that's we live in a complicated time where people do have to be PC, but it's kind of like a game, and it makes it very difficult to be comfortable while being social. And yeah, it's definitely a rough world out there as far as communications go.
Yeah.
That's why I personally really support a system of having a single pronoun for all human beings. And then if you want to ask the person to refer to you as male or female, or you want to be referred to in specific ways, you can do that within like the subcontext of your conversation. But for the initial greeting, I really agree on. I really support the idea of like initially greeting people with a gender-neutral pronoun, or talking about someone you don't know in a gender-neutral pronoun.
For the record, I'm a very proud cisgendered male. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Very proud. Yeah. I wake up every morning. I'm like, yep. Let's go.
And what does it mean to be a cisgendered male for you?
Well, I mean, I'm just I think that whole new labeling system is a joke. But so I just use this. I'm a straight guy.
What does it mean to be straight?
Like women.
And what is a woman?
Well, okay. Well, to me is someone who isn't male who has a vagina.
Fair enough.
Who's feminine, who has a feminine energy.
What is a feminine energy?
Oh wow, who's being interviewed here? But someone who smells nice, pretty.
What is pretty to you?
Oops, all right, just sent the link to Liz Glazer. So hopefully she's listening. Oh, okay, okay, let's read some of the feminine to me. That's a good question. I don't know. It's just I never really had to think about it. If I saw a female and I'm attracted, I'm attracted to girly girls or people are laughing. Someone who smells nice.
Well, there's a lot of things that smell nice. I could get you some really good smelling goats, some good smelling chicken.
Hey, first of all, I'm Puerto Rican. I'll probably know someone that knows how to cook them up real good with some rice and beans. Don't mess with me with no farm animals. I don't care. I'll kill the fuckers myself.
And there's some really great smelling people that have penises.
Yeah.
And there are some really great smelling people that have penises that do fit within the conglomerate and socially acceptable commercial standards of beauty that have been defined as being thin, well-breasted, smooth-skinned, usually beautiful, clear eyes, all their limbs intact, likely they have longer hair, usually they have a smaller frame, they're not going to be the Hulk, they're not going to have a girl stash, they're not going to have,
what's a girl stash?
Right? There's a lot of really beautiful people with penises that have those qualities. Like my friend Andrea Pejic, before she ended up getting her bottom surgery. I mean, she was the most stunning, beautiful woman. but with a penis.
I see.
A lot of feminine qualities there that you may have been attracted to. But when it came down to the business, what it came down to was sex. And, yeah, it seems like for you, when you identify as straight, you're saying that you feel most chemically connected with female anatomy, as far as pheromones go, and as far as sexual activity goes.
Mm-hmm. But the thing is, I mean, call me pig-headed, call me whatever, but, you know, if I was to find out she used to have a penis, that's an immediate turnoff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that's ingrained in me. So it's, I mean, how would you explain that to somebody?
Well, I think you explained it pretty perfectly. I mean, we all have our own ways of identifying, and we don't have to be attracted to all things.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to be open to sleeping with all people, but you should be open to all love.
Oops.
Everyone.
We get it's Liz Glazer. She's calling in.
Uh-oh,
it's Liz.
Hi.
Yes, the woman that I'm stalking currently.
Oh my God, Louie, how are you?
I'm okay. How you doing?
Good. Hi, Rain.
Hi, Liz. I'm grilling out your friend here. We're talking about his
Hello?
his.
Oh, you can't hear her?
I couldn't before, but I don't know if I'm not able to in general.
Okay, hold on. Let me try.
Put it together.
Let me
No,
try
it's fine.
calling you.
Whatever.
Let me try calling you then. Add people to this.
Okay. Sure.
To this call. Hold on. Don't hang.
It's okay if it's a three-way.
Nice.
I love that song. It's so good.
Ready. And you know I'm not really stalking you. I'm just joking.
I know.
I'm not that ambitious. All right, I'll call you right back.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye. All right, let me invite her to the conference, and there we go. Boom. I gotta figure that out, how to mix two things.
Hello?
You get it. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. You're fantastic. How are you, beautiful woman?
I'm good.
Ooh.
Oh, you're so beautiful.
human.
I'm so excited to hear your voice.
Oh my goodness.
I'm excited to hear your voice, too.
Okay, this is not a phone sex chat line. This is a radio show. Oh, actually,
Wait,
by the
Louis,
way, yes.
like it's. I was listening just a little bit from when you posted the link. I just pressed play or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so interesting how the expression of love for you seems so deeply intertwined with the expression of sex. You know, just saying someone's beautiful, just saying that you love someone, that becomes a phone sex thing. I know it's a joke. It's just interesting and funny to me.
Well, I've never been in love, so I don't know what love is.
You really think that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
No, I believe you. I just am listening.
Actually, I have a tradition on this show. Whenever I have two lovely ladies on the show, for them to friend zone me, because my nickname that was affectionately given to me by one of my listeners is called Captain Strikeout. So I'm trying to keep my ERA up. So if you ladies could please friend zone me, that would be fantastic.
I'm definitely not going to friend zone you because I don't know. I mean, the possibilities in our future are endless.
Wow.
And I have really nice tits, and you might fall in love with them. And I do happen to smell nice, and I do happen to have a vagina. So I'm not going to friend zone you because I care.
Okay.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, Liz did it really quick because he's like, oh, my God, he's going to wait for me in front of Williamsburg Soul Cycle.
No, first of all, you were at the Brooklyn Heights one. Remember, that was the Brooklyn Heights one that you took a picture
of.
But
That's funny that you actually knew the location without me even tagging it.
Yeah.
I mean, that was by my job. I mean, but
right.
I know.
Children, don't make me turn this car around.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, Mommy.
Dad.
Okay.
Dad.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
So yeah, I was quick to friend zone you, but that's honestly, Louis. In a way, it's a joke, but B, I don't know. I'm pretty comfortable with the idea that I don't have like I wouldn't not have sex with someone just because they had a penis, but I am attracted to femininity more than I'm attracted to masculinity in terms of having sex with people. And so, you know, it's easy for me to be like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that, you know, I am not going to have sex with you because of your relative masculinity. But that, I mean, it could change, you know, like there are moments that I'm attracted to something more masculine. But for me, it's not about the presence or absence of a penis, but rather the masculinity or femininity. But Rain, about, you mentioned a moment ago about your breasts, and actually somebody who is like a friend of mine from like childhood, I think saw maybe your play out video, which was so good. I mean, you're always so good in everything that you do, but that video was just amazing, and it's amazing what that brand seems to be doing. I only know about it from you, and so I don't know if you like want to speak to it or whatever, but
oh yeah, well,
friend,
Play Out just barely released 2 campaigns back to back. One and they Play Out is an underwear is an underwear company.
Oh yes, that picture.
They're gender neutral. Yeah.
That picture that you took with that that lady that had the double mastectomy.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that was like the picture that linked to one of the articles, right, with the video embedded in it.
Right, yeah, and the video, of course, features a girl or a person who you would assume has a vagina, based on the fact that, blah blah blah. But she's kissing a person of ambiguous gender, based on you know what you learned aesthetically is gender, and so that's kind of, and that person, of course, is me, and you don't know if it's somebody with a penis or someone not with a penis. Are they male? Are they female? Are they masculine? Are they feminine? I don't know what's going on. There's stuff happening. There's underwear. There's hands going down the underwear. But the most important element of their campaign was actually a photo shoot featuring Melanie Testa, as well as a few other ladies who have been breast cancer survivors. And they opted not to have a double they had double mastectomies, so their breasts were removed, and they opted not to have reconstruction. So basically, they were opting not to have breasts visible again. And there are a lot of complications, physical complications that come with reconstructive breast surgery, and it's also very expensive, and it can be very painful, and it just backfires over time. And so these people have made a brave choice, and now they have just these 2 scars and no nipple, no anything. And it seems like that's something that would limit their lives, but it's actually empowered them. They can walk around topless places, and they can, you know, it's changed the way that they look at their body. And it was really interesting. We did this photo shoot with a topless shoot, and I did it with them because obviously the theme was that if they have no breasts and they're androgynous, so I did a shot with them with very large breasts sitting next to somebody who has no breasts. And so inspired by these people. I couldn't believe how beautiful they were. And over the past 2 or 3 days since that campaign has hit the road, it's been in People Magazine, Mashable, BuzzFeed, Huffington Post, everywhere, and the amount of negative comments that have come in have made me want to seriously bitch slap a lot of people. Like, what the is wrong with these? These people have survived cancer.
What?
And you're calling them ugly because they don't have breasts? Oh. You want to talk about what makes someone feminine, and people are saying that breasts are what makes you feminine?
That's really a low blow.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
That really ridiculous. Is a low blow. Like, really, wow. I mean, like, what was the worst comment have you heard about towards these persons who had the? I want to say female. Can I say female? Can I just?
No, they're females. Yeah.
Okay.
They have publicly said that we are female. So it's different if you just don't know that if somebody doesn't have hasn't told you what their preference is. I mean, I say just use a gender neutral. But if someone's like I want to be referred to as he or she, then refer to them as he or she. You know, that's my opinion on the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
okay.
totally. I think
So-
that makes sense.
So what was the worst question? And can you name names? Oh, I love when people name names. Can you name names? Who the scumbags?
Okay. Well, a great example would be to go to today on Mashable.com.
Oh, okay.
You will see that there was a link that was put up. It was gender neutral underwear defines boundaries by using breast cancer survivors as models. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You click on that link, and of course there are these beautiful women there who identify as women, are very proud. Now, one of the couples is a lesbian couple, and they both have had double mastectomies, and they're both topless. So you're just like, what? And it's like floors you. But the second person is Melanie Testa, who has been sharing her story with women, trying to encourage them not to pursue reconstructive surgery because of complications that could occur, and also helping to guide them through the process of accepting their bodies as it goes through a new process, because these are people who grew up with breasts and they grow up in a culture that defines femininity by breasts, and so she's really trying to inspire people. So someone today, several people were making comments, but they were saying that these women look like hairy chimp apes. They look like, there's one person who commented, because Melanie Testa has armpit hair and she has no breasts, that she's more of an animal than a human.
Damn.
And
wow.
I'm like, I could not believe it. But the things that got me the most were, one person said no reconstructive surgery. It's not my fault that they chose to be ugly. I'm like, and that just like, that blew my mind, that they're saying that women doesn't have reconstructive surgery, that they're choosing to be ugly because breasts have so much to do with that. And it's just like, these women have gone through a horrible trauma. One day they were fine, and the next minute they're suffering from a disease that could kill them.
Yeah.
And these people are not just like, they're not just like going through the process, the painful process of having to have this stuff removed. They're just choosing not to be swept under the rug, and they're choosing to take their worth and their pride out to the world and say, I'm not afraid. My life is not going to stop just because I don't fit within what is socially constructed as beautiful. I still love myself.
Sure.
And you should be inspired by that shit. These are the type of people that go on Oprah. These are the kind of people that go on to inspire young people who grow up and have those same complications later on in life to not be so afraid. And we're throwing them down in the dirt. I mean, what kind of people are these? It just it bothers me. It bothers me a lot.
Yeah, no, it's really mean. Yeah, I think a lot of that stuff like stems. I mean, if you're a person who is calling other people ugly, I think that's more about your own insecurity about something than it is about some, actual statement about whoever the object of that insult is.
So yeah, I mean, it's somebody's personal issues, but it's like, I kind of want to tell these people, like, take your carpal tunnel somewhere else. Like, when you're on your deathbed and you want to have those last 3 seconds to say goodbye to your grandchildren, you won't have them because you wasted it telling somebody with cancer or somebody who survived cancer that they were ugly. Congratulations. Mazel tov. Here's the mic. How do you feel? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I get upset about that stuff all the time because as a person, I rely very heavily on my breasts to be able to get into women's bathrooms. I rely very heavily on them so that I don't get pepper sprayed going in for opportunities that we've given women, because we divide our society with a binary language, and therefore there are benefits to being male, benefits to being female. And when I go for opportunities that are offered for women, I need to use my breasts like they are a fucking security passport.
Yeah, I hear that. Well, anyway, what my friend said,
access granted,
was that you had really nice tits. So,
true story.
Oh dear God.
Yes, that was. She saw the video or something that I posted that you had said to share, and I shared it, and she was like, "Your friend Rain has really nice boobs."
Well,
yes. But anyway. So, okay.
Oh,
well, this is so exciting that this,
Oh, I just said thanks. Yeah, I'm still
okay.
here. Hey, what's up, girl?
So sorry, I didn't mean to like crash your interview, but Louis,
No,
what else?
I want to know more about
cool.
what's going on with you. But I don't know if we're allowed
what's
to.
going on with me? I
Yeah.
mean, I have a show this Sunday where I get to do 20 minutes, which is very exciting. So I'm
And
preparing
it's a long
for that.
time.
It is
Great.
a long time. Yeah, I'm really excited for it. And
Please rise for the
that's
Brooklyn
like-
National Anthem.
What's that?
Please rise for the Brooklyn National Anthem.
Yeah, you hear in the background. Sorry, yeah. I'm actually in my apartment. It sounds like I'm outside maybe, but that's actually indoors.
And now I know you
So-
live in Williamsburg.
Oh, yeah, totally.
I will
yeah, so
find you.
that's probably like the biggest thing that's
Where is it occurring so that potential listeners may be able to go forth?
Yeah, totally. It's in New Milford, Connecticut.
Damn.
So it's like an hour and 43 minutes away. according
Metro
to Google
North.
Maps from me.
Take your
What's
Metro
that?
North. Take your Metro North Railroad, so that way you could drink and come home and not get a ticket.
Totally. Yeah, no, it's some place
Hands
called
free.
like Fast Eddie's or something.
Fast Eddie's. Milford,
But
Connecticut.
it should be fun. I'm excited for it. What's going on with you guys?
Oh, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Fast Eddie Gold and oh no, that's not it.
Nope.
I was.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Fast Eddie Billiards.
Yes.
All right, found it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Liz, what time is your show on Sunday?
It's on at 7:30. Doors are at 7. It's $20 in advance, 25 at the door. I'm trying to find the address.
Fast Eddie's Billiards Cafe is at 46 Old State Road, New Milford, Connecticut.
Oh, yeah.
06776. The number is 860-350-8569, or go on their website to www.fasteddies.com.
Nice. Wow, Louis. That's
Wow.
awesome.
That was good
Very
voice.
supportive. Very radio of you.
I've been doing
felt
doing
like?
this for over 10 years.
Nice.
Yes.
That's great. What's been going on with you, Louis?
Working, doing the show,
Yeah.
doing open mics, almost getting banned from some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So keeping it very Louis B.
Keeping it very, yep. Trying to change it up. I'm trying to Bill Hicks it a lot, but
Yeah. I've seen your posts about that. I really love Bill Hicks, and I also really love you, and I love how, even though there are many times that I don't agree with you on the basis of content, I'm always happy to hear your perspective.
yeah, a lot of people don't
and
agree based on my content.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's fine. I don't care
Yeah.
about that. I don't need to agree with you.
Okay, are you sure it's Fast Eddie's Sports and Billiards? Because I'm looking at the thing right now, and it says it's closed on May 31st.
Yeah, I think, yes, it's there.
Okay.
See.
I don't want to. Oh wait, they gave me the wrong FM website. Okay, no, it's not fasteddies.com. Scratch that. Oh goodness. All right.
I think it is. I'm looking at another poster. You were right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fine.
Now I'm gonna Google it. So that way I get people. And of course, Fast Eddie's Billiards Cafe.
But Rain, it seems like there's a ton going on with you, which is so exciting.
Yes. Oh, okay. Here
so
it
I
is.
wanna
It's
hear more about that.
fasteddies.co.
I actually have a big campaign coming out.
Oh,
soon.
nice. Tell me.
And it's for. Well, I can only. I'm not allowed to say too much about it.
Sure.
But what I can say is that it's a commercial menswear campaign.
Nice.
And
You will like the way you look.
it features
guarantee
men's bathing suits.
Ah.
That's all I can tell you.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's very exciting. Because I was like...
Do they cater to the plus-size gentlemen?
They carry a lot of different sizes. They're an amazing company, and they're very sophisticated. I don't like the term plus size, by the way. I don't think there's such a thing as plus size. I think that there should just be sizes, and there should be numbers corresponding to the sizes that we know if it's going to fit us or not. But we should not be using the term plus size. I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I went to a Brooklyn Industries store and I asked, do they have like size 44 jeans? The sales associate said, we don't have goddamn. Damn it, that sucked.
Wow. Yeah.
It's like, we don't cater to your size here, sir. You must leave.
Mhm.
It's like, damn. You could get a bag. The only thing at Brooklyn Industries that's my size is a bag. That's for that's for Rhett. That's for Rhett Seaver.
Yeah, he loves bags. Yeah. Thank God for bags.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, that's exciting. So that's something, and you've said as much as you can say about it, Rain.
Right. And then, of course, I always do, I work with a lot of different causes and things like that. So
yeah.
You'll see some more stuff coming out about, various causes. I'm still trying to get you to come out with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I want you to come do some volunteer work with me.
Okay.
I think my the next thing I'm going to be working with are elderly people, senior citizens.
Cool. Nice.
I want to work to help them obtain better rights. Senior citizens get taken advantage of more than children do. You know, there's more abuse in in hospice care than there is in child care. So basically, I want to go and talk with various people, record their stories, and try to get more visibility, so that they can have better.
That's a great idea.
Yeah,
that's a really great idea. And actually, from my law professor days, I have a friend who does elder law. She works at, I think she's still at Syracuse, but she's like a
that
cool
don't make
person.
her a bad person.
And, what's that?
That don't make her a bad person.
No, it doesn't at all. She's a great person.
No.
And I actually really like Syracuse, the school and the town. It's wonderful in the summer. But anyway, she does elder rights, and so she might be like a cool person to connect with for you, Rain.
That would be really cool. Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
I want to get you. Yeah. I want to get you moving in with me.
Oh.
Amazing. I love it.
Film a sitcom.
Good. I love you.
I love you too. You know that.
They could call us Rain Glazer.
Totally.
Rain Glazer. I can already sing the theme song.
That almost sounds like a Spanish cleaner.
Rain Glazer. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah,
I would buy it.
Yeah.
Me too.
What do you wash your clothes with?
Rain Glazer. Group in terms of the selection, but yeah.
I'd be like, cool. I could smell. Like, you can buy the Rain Glazer. It will take care of everything in your house.
Very nice.
Sounds like my dad. Cool. Well, thank you so much for having me on the show.
Whenever you want.
All the time, Liz Glazer.
Yes.
Thank you. It's lovely to talk to both of you guys.
Love you.
So I will jump off and continue to listen to your conversation.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Again, check out Liz Glazer's show at Fast Eddie Billiards on May 31st at 7:30, and the address to that is 46 Old State Road, New Milford, Connecticut 06776. Check out the website at fasteddies.co. That's fasteddies.co. So, Liz,
thank you.
Grazie.
I appreciate it.
All
right, bye guys. See you soon.
Hey.
Bye. Thanks for being my friend.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, bye.
You know, I like when that happens because I get to sit back. I was drinking some soda, just relaxing, just listening.
Wow, you're drinking soda.
Some people do cocaine, some people smoke weed, some people shoot up. I drink Diet Pepsi. It's what gets me through the day. So, anyways, just this one question I got. When you do dress in male clothing, do you get a sense of male privilege?
Okay. There's two parts to this answer.
Okay.
Number one, there's no such thing as male clothing. When I put something on that's supposed to be for male, my vagina does not fall off. So therefore, if I'm wearing it and it doesn't fall off, my vagina still exists, then it becomes women's clothing the minute I have it on my body.
Okay.
However, I do understand what you mean by that. Of course, the socially constructed ideology that this is clothing not only tailored for men or / people with a penis, but is also tailored for people to be able to identify people with a penis as people with a penis in our society. And I do experience quite a bit of male privilege. Now, male privilege is a good thing, but it's also a terrible thing. I don't think people understand how hard it is to be a guy. There's a lot of pressure on men to be complete, to have their stuff together. And especially if you're a poor guy, it's very difficult. If you're a poor girl, you can be rescued, and that's a Cinderella situation, and that's considered romantic. But if you're a poor guy, you're considered pathetic, a loser, and you're not considered attractive by any means. And there's a lot of pressure for you to get your stuff together, to be self-sufficient, to be able to be a provider, to be able to be someone who can absorb emotion but not necessarily express it or fully feel it. There's a lot of pressure to be able to be protective of your partner or to be able to handle yourself physically in an environment. And it's hard to be a guy. It's very hard to be a guy. The only reason why I prefer a masculine presentation. Oh no! Am I still in this thing?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, okay, good. Sorry. The only reason why I prefer. Sorry, I heard like this weird sound on my phone. But the only reason why I prefer a masculine presentation over a feminine presentation by our commercial standards of what is masculine and feminine is that there is an understanding that you do have your shit together, or that you are self-sufficient. So when I walk down the street, I feel a little safer. I feel safer as a white man in America than I do as a white woman, or especially as a white woman who does kind of look like they could be a transsexual white woman or a lesbian white woman, both of which are definitely a little lower on the totem pole as far as acceptance goes, and as far as as far as feeling safe and trusted. At the same time, I only use being a male to get around the city on my day-to-day, so people don't question me as much when I'm wearing masculine stuff. I look more comfortable in men's clothing because I am. As I say, men's clothing in quotes. You can't see them because they're invisible because you're on the radio, but I'm quoting with my fingers.
Yes.
But some of the other things I experience when I do dress in quote unquote men's attire, I do also experience the ability to negotiate my pay a little bit better, which I did a lot of private contractor jobs. These are jobs that are typically suited for people with penises, aka men. And I would go to people's houses off from Craigslist, and I would offer to do things like plumbing jobs, electric jobs. I'd even put together IKEA furniture. And I found that when I walked in, if I had my breasts showing at all, or I had any sign that I was a girl, aka a person with a vagina, they would oftentimes question what I was doing, ask me to tell them what the steps are and what I was going to do. And at the end, they would pay me a little tighter. It was like, it was very interesting. But as a guy, they tended not to get in my way so much. I would tell them I'm here to do the job, and they would just trust that I had it done. So it's just more efficient to be a male, I find. However, it's more profitable, I think, in the long run to be a female, because females get a lot of free stuff, and I don't even know if females or people with vaginas really realize how much free stuff they get.
Oh, yeah.
They get everything from free entry to a club to free drinks. They can get better, they do get better tips oftentimes in their jobs, and there's just a lot of free. There's just like a lot of free handouts, and it's kind of like a retribution thing. Like, sorry, we've oppressed you for so long, but it's also kind of a little. It's also a reverse inequality, or inequality in general, between men and women. that women get elevated to a level that men can't attain. So if I go to a club, if I appear like I have a penis, I suddenly have to pay $50 more to get in, which I think is ridiculous. And then the people who present themselves as if they have a vagina, they don't have to pay at all. And when you have somebody walking in and they're paying and the other person isn't paying, and you're basically saying they are paying for that experience to experience the other person. So you're objectifying women in the end anyway by being like, well, guys have to pay to be here, women don't. Therefore, it's kind of like men are buying the experience to be with women. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah. I mean, I kind of made this joke like money doesn't matter to women unless you're a fat guy. Then you have to pay by the pound.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just whether even my father and my older uncles, they would say, well, that's you gotta pay for women. That's just how it is. And it's like what and when you try to question that, you get called as a male you get shamed. It's like why do I have to pay for this person if I barely know them? I mean, there's another joke I made. Why is it wrong for me to expect her to open her legs on the first date, but not wrong for her to expect me to open my wallet on the first date?
Well, I think that sex and money are very different, and
you're taking advantage. One way or the other.
Yeah, I mean, I think I think that you can't equate money and sex.
Sure you can.
No, money and sex are completely separate. It's not a universal trade thing. You're not buying somebody's body. We're done with like that period of time.
What is marriage then? Marriage is nothing but
marriage is not a purchase of somebody's body. Marriage is a social and governmental contract that says if you and I put our lives together, then we're also going to hold each other accountable financially and legally, and we're going to support each other in that way throughout life. It has nothing to do with sex. Many couples actually do have sex with other partners within their relationships, and there are a ton of swinger parties out there. But just because you get married, just because you put a ring on that person's finger does not mean you own their body. Doesn't mean that you own their future or any of their sexual experiences. It means that you're entering into you're entering into a governmental contract with this person saying that you're going to be liable for them.
Which means there's no reason to get married ever.
No, you shouldn't get married. Unless I believe that people should get married if they have a spiritual element about it, if they really do feel like that's part of it's a personal choice. If they want to get married and they want to show that they are going to bind to each other and take care of each other and be loyal to each other in that way and monogamous for the rest of their life, or they just want to show that they want to go through life together and witness each other's growth to death, that's one thing. But yeah, I mean, the whole entire consumerism ideologies that have been put upon us by society is ridiculous. The fact that a guy has to buy a woman a $10,000 ring and pay I mean, obviously the alimony thing is changing nowadays. That's shifted a lot, but it used to be like it was a huge risk for a guy, a person with a penis to pop the question, because it's expensive. It's an expensive process.
It is.
But yeah, it's very expensive.
It's crazy. But
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. In fact, in marriage, because I was having this conversation with someone. What are your thoughts are on gender roles?
Well, gender roles or sex roles?
Gender roles, like a man, he's the one that does the fixing and the earning, and the woman does the cooking and the cleaning and the raising of the children's.
I think that everybody has a different thing that they can contribute to this world, and everyone has a different passion for those things. And if we want to live in the best world possible, we need to let people do what they are best at. We need to let people do what they're most passionate about. And the things that people are most passionate about, they might not necessarily be the most productive at, but that means absolutely nothing if they're happy. Happiness goes a long way on this planet. I don't believe that should be a strict rule.
Mm.
I don't think that just because I have a vagina, I belong in the kitchen, because I can guarantee you I can fix most things in your house better than you can. I bet you I could probably do most construction gigs better than you can do, because I have a lot of experience and a lot of passion about it. And I don't belong in a kitchen. I have a vagina, but I don't belong in a kitchen.
Mm.
I love cooking. I'm a damn good cook, and I like kids. They're interesting. But I'll be damned if I end up marrying somebody or getting into a relationship with them for an extended period of time and be limited.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right.
But I do think that it's a healthy thing for a couple to have some kind of structure or a construct to their lives. I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think that we should demonize stay-at-home moms or stay-at-home dads. I don't think that we should demonize couples that have that construct. But I don't think that should be set in all ways, like for all people. It should just be based on the individual, you know?
Yeah. Okay. That's fair.
What about you? I mean, what do you want in a partner?
I don't even know if I want.
Picture that?
I don't even know if I want to get married at this point.
Did I scare you?
No, it's just like I see like a lot of the older guys that I've worked with that have been divorced, and now they're paying all this money for child support, and I hear all the horror stories about being taken for alimony, and the dude, their ex-wives move their boyfriends into the houses that they're still paying for.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I mean, and again, the joke that I've said before, like my cousin's first wife. My cousin has an 8-pack. He was in the army. He has a good paying job. His first wife cheated on him. What the fuck hope do I have?
Well, I think that you're an individual human being, and the person that you fall for or people that you may fall for are individual human beings, and you cannot compare your story to other people because it's a completely separate life.
Yeah, but you
don't know what's in the future.
But it is written, wise is the person that learns from other people's mistakes.
Well, there are a lot of things that are written.
Yeah. It's just like, oof.
And yeah, I mean, and everybody has something that may be a mistake for one person, may not be a mistake for others. There have been a lot of people who have come to New York City with nothing but the clothes on their back and tried to make themselves successful, and it ruined them.
Yeah.
It ruined them mentally, financially, emotionally. And I look at all the people who have failed, and I know a lot more people that have failed than haven't. If I had learned from their mistakes, I would have stayed at home, and I don't know, I'd be in a different place, but I decided that I wanted to learn from my own mistakes. And I pursued it, and I threw my heart into it, and look at me now. I'm not perfect. I'm not, like, mega famous, but I'm doing pretty damn well. And I didn't fall down the same hole that everyone else did because I'm an individual with a different path than everyone else.
Well, there you go. So, what else? What else? In fact, let's see, like Christy, let's read the chat room. Christy in the chat room. Great show, Louis. It's nice to hear some substance and real thoughts. And I was like, autopilot when you and Liz were talking. LOL, yes, I like radio, Louis, with real guests have something to say. Ashton, she goes, fuck Cinderella situations.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah.
I like
Cinderella.
I like Cinderella, but yeah, fuck it. It never works. For every chick that expects a man to pay, I'll show you one who doesn't, says Christy. Louis,
I agree.
Louis, everyone tells you this. Start listening and living. Okay. I mean, okay. I wonder if Christy wants... Oh, Christy asked if you were Polish.
If I was Polish... Jeez, Christy, that's so personal.
Yeah.
Yeah, my last name is Dubileski. A lot of people don't know that. I go by Rain Dove, which is my real name. My full name is Rain Dove Danielle Victoria Rupert Dubileski.
Damn.
I know. But Rain Dove.
That actually reminds me of my uncle. His name is Jose Contreras de la Vega Martinez Rodriguez Jr.
Wow, you got the accent in there too. You'd make yourself a fine lesbian.
Would I really?
Mm-hmm. The tongue motion. Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. I could also do Chewbacca. So.
Oh, you'd make a good. You'd make a good faggot. Tell you what. Let that dick slide down your throat like that.
No, I don't want.
Gurgle.
No.
They love it.
No.
I'm just saying you have possibilities.
No, I don't want that. That's not me. No.
Am I being too lewd for you?
No, Rain, I don't want to be gay. That's not. I like Virginia.
There's nothing wrong with being straight. I think it really is an individual thing. You have to love yourself, and you have to love your life. You can't limit yourself. I think all people are pansexual. And which way I mean is that.
What is pansexual?
My definition of pansexual is you love who you love, no matter what. No matter what's between the legs, no matter what's on their face, no matter what they look like, no matter any physical element that they carry with them, you love them. And love is something that doesn't necessarily have a limit to it. And so if the right person walks into your life and you really feel that heart connection, you really feel that pounding and that you feel that connection that kind of vibrates you all throughout your body and makes you feel like maybe there's something more intellectual and sexual within that person that you could connect with for a long period of time. It doesn't really matter, those elements. Doesn't matter what they have between the legs, doesn't matter the color of their skin, doesn't matter their religion or where they've been or where they're going.
The only time I've ever felt like that, it was towards a woman who turned out to be insane. I don't know what that's about.
Well, that's a one-time thing, and it happens. Those things happen. Sometimes we're not compatible with people that we fall for, and that's okay. But the thing is that we don't know what the possibilities are. You don't know what tomorrow is going to bring, and you don't know what a few years from now is going to bring, and you don't know the kinds of things that you're going to be exposed to or the kinds of people that are going to come into your life, and you don't know how you're going to be affected by that, and you don't want to limit yourself because you have a lot of good stuff to bring to this world, Louise. You have a lot of amazing stuff to bring this world, and you shouldn't limit yourself. You shouldn't limit who you love. You shouldn't limit what you do. You shouldn't limit what you say or the kinds of comedy that you bring to people. You shouldn't limit yourself on any level.
No, because other people will.
You limit what you get.
Because other people will limit you.
No, other people will try to limit you, but no one will actually limit you. There's no such thing as other people limiting you. It's okay if people turn off to you. You know what I mean? It kind of makes your job a little easier, to be honest. There's 7 billion people on the planet to deal with. It's like, who do you really want to talk to? It's nice to have some people kind of get out of the line.
Well, I just totally X'd out all of India and China, so...
Oh, why'd you X all those people out?
I don't know. Oh, that and Lithuania. I don't know. I can't trust a Lithuanian.
Why? What's up with the Lithuanian?
Nothing. I just wanted to pick a random people to be racist towards.
I don't understand why you find the need to be limiting. Is it because so many people limit you based on who you are and what you look like?
Probably.
So you kind of push back against the world in order to be able to show that, hey, people push against me, so I push too, and it's just the way it is, and you kind of deal with it in comedy.
Pretty much. I want to be, honestly, I made a comment on Facebook. I want to be like Bill Hicks and Sam Kinison. Throw in some Patrice O'Neill for, the whole, talking about the whole feminism thing, third wave feminism. It's not that I'm against women having equal rights. It makes sense.
Right.
It's just that it's just the extra. It's just the man hating bullshit that I hate.
I agree with you. And sometimes equal rights aren't that equal. It's like they want equal rights, but with privileges. Like
Yeah.
they want the free entry into the club, and they don't want to have to pay for the drink.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they want the equal rights. That they also want all the stuff that the males get. Like they want to be able to, say like it's a gentleman's club and blah blah blah. The tables can only be purchased by men. They want to be able to be one of the people that purchases the table. So the tables can't only be purchased by men. They can be purchased by men and women, but they still want the free entry and they still want the free drinks.
Well, the thing that it goes a step further than that. Like, let's say there's a space, like a space for men, like not like a gentleman's club, but like well, by gentlemen's club, but not like a strip club, but like an actual gentlemen's club where, gentlemen go, they smoke some cigars, they talk politics, basically, or they have like a locker room situation. I hate the fact that there are feminists that will want to get in there, want to be included, and then once they are included in that, try to dictate on how men should speak, how men should act. When it's like, wait a minute, you're in our space. How are you dictating on how we should act?
I think it's difficult because you're talking about two different things.
Oh, okay.
One is sexual rights, female rights and male rights,
Mm-hmm.
and one is sexual culture, which has been created over the binary division of these people through time. And having things like men's clubs and female spa days and blah, 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 all these things are not necessarily birthrights, but they definitely are cultural nuances that have been established for a period of time and kind of feel like rights. And it's hard because I feel like that's a PC thing too. Like it's like why we don't have schools divided by race anymore. You know what I mean? It's not okay to have an all-white school. And that came with equal rights. When we have equal rights, is it okay for there to be a gentleman's club? And the answer is yes, of course. As long as it's breeding positivity, in my opinion. All humans should be able to do whatever they want to do, as long as it's not going to hurt anyone. But if it's a gentleman's club...
What's wrong with a bunch of nice gentlemen, throwing their hands up in the air, burning crosses? They're good boys.
I think that when we look at the world,
mm-hmm.
I think that food, shelter, water, and safety are the first four things that every human needs. And when you look at people who really need to be dealt with in a way that's forceful or a way that really helps to change or modify their behavior or maybe even eradicate a culture, you look at, are they impeding on everyone else's ability to obtain food, shelter, water, and safety?
Mm-hmm.
And during that time period, those people most certainly did impede on those four things, but especially the safety aspect. These people were very violent people, and these people were people who intentionally attacked others and singled them out, and therefore they had to be dealt with. Now, does every person with a penis act like that? No. In a gentleman's club, are they intentionally trying to go out and eradicate the female persuasion or anyone with like a vagina? No. Have you really heard a lot of stories of people at gentlemen's clubs getting in the way of other folks and hurting them physically or, conspiring to ruin them? No, but there's a difference. There's a reason why gentlemen's clubs should be respected because it's a cultural thing. It's a cultural club.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't necessarily mean that the people that are partaking in that club are sexist or that they are conspiring to ruin the female culture. It's just, you don't have to participate in it, but I think it's okay to exist as long as it's not hurting anyone.
Yeah. I mean, and I do believe, spaces for men are healthy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I used to hang out when I hung out with my father as a child. We used to go to space, not strip clubs, but like spaces where men were being men. and it was just being
Well,
masculine.
men are men all the time.
Well, I'm just saying, because I mean, we do live in a like. Okay, when I was part of a 9/11 conspiracy group, there was this one lady that we would just make jokes, we would carry on as men do, and she would just roll her eyes like, oh my god, you act immature, and then I was like, look, you're the one that's acting immature by trying to limit how we act. We're not hurting anyone, we're not being sexist or racist towards anyone. We're not hurting anyone. We're making like, it's like, why you gotta be so filthy? Why you gotta put your damn your damn morality on us?
Well, I go to a men's club here in New York called the Lucky Guy Lounge.
Oh, okay.
And it's a men's lounge.
Mm-hmm.
And I have the privilege to go. And there's definitely a different culture that we have curated as a binary identifying society that does recognize people on a binary level. And there's a different vibe. I don't go there for fruity cocktails and like cute, sparkly manicures and delicate treatment and soft, flirty smiles. I go there so that I can like really ground myself. I feel very grounded when I go into the men's club. My conversations are very intellectual based, and sometimes it's a bit like a mind game. When you're talking with people, there's respect, but there's definitely it's more of a mental game. And I also find that a lot of the things that we've created to be men's culture definitely have this very rustic, rougher kind of feel to them that sometimes can be very refreshingly raw. And males tend to really handle each other, I think, in a more delicate manner. I mean, I find that men or people with penises and those hormones levels especially, the way that they handle their emotions is very interesting. They process them in a certain way. They communicate them only if they really feel like it really needs to be communicated. This is not for all men, by the way. This is just for a majority that I have experienced thus far. And when something is done, it's done. That's it. Like, it's like, it's nice. Sometimes it's nice to like just be in a conflict with a guy over a female group of people. Where if I go to a female spa, which I have gone to all women's day spas, quite a few of them in New York City.
Yes. Did you get the happy ending?
Everything tends to be a little lighter, and you talk about your personal problems, and you talk about. What did you say?
Did you get yourself the happy ending?
No. I always feel weird about asking for a happy ending in a girl spa.
Oh, why not?
No.
I thought that's like included in the price though.
Well, it's an all-girl spa, so
yeah.
It's for women only.
Okay. I can't go in there but like, hey ladies, how you doing?
And sometimes it's not always a happy ending. No, I mean, the whole entire happy ending culture is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, everybody needs to calm down. But the vibe is very different. It's lighter. It's the issue is being resolved by there's communication about it, and I find that females sometimes just need to vent. They just need to vent, and
so do men.
That's right, and they do, but they're different kinds of venting. One is a feedback and a story comparison that happens with the female persuasion, but for the male persuasion, it's very like they tell their story. A lot of people might give some feedback on it or say, "Oh man, that sucks," but there's not a story comparison a lot. A lot of times it's not like, okay, you told me your story, let me tell you my story, which is much worse than your story. Like that happens a lot in the spot. Like, you think you have problems. Like, I don't know. Everyone's an individual. They deal with their own shit differently. But I don't believe that it's black and white as far as how people deal with their problems and stuff. But what I'm saying is that going to these places, there's definitely a very clear way that we have curated culture based on genitalia, and it's very, very, very visible. Just by going to a men's lounge and like a women's lounge is like it's night and day. It's incredible. And it's funny because those things will shift. Like, did you know that Napoleon Dynamite invented heels?
Wait, what?
Did you know Napoleon Dynamite invented heels? Not Napoleon Dynamite. Napoleon Bonaparte invented Napoleon Dynamite. I was looking at
I was like, wait a minute, wait, why?
Napoleon Bonaparte invented heels. Apologize.
No, I didn't know he invented heels.
He invented heels.
Gosh.
I know. They used to be a men's thing. Gasp. Also, men used to wear dresses, robes, things like that.
I still wear a robe because I'm starting my own religion.
You should.
Yes, I'm getting right on that. I'm gonna get some tax-free status, probably get some followers, and then I'm gonna give them get some lemonade, have them drink lemonade.
Instead of Kool-Aid?
Instead of Kool-Aid, because that's been copyrighted. I don't want to owe no money to the Jim Jones estate.
Sounds like a lonely religion. Are you the only one drinking lemonade?
Yeah, I don't like to share. I just like to sip on my lemonade.
Do I need to call you help? Are you in a suicidal position? Don't move. I'll find you.
Please. What? Like, see... Why the hell do I have to go? Fuck suicide. No, I'm homicidal. I'm planning a mass shooting.
And he says it on the radio, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. That's right, because you know what? That didn't make no punk. I want people ready for my ass.
I'm ready. We got you recorded. We can get you arrested right now. I just have to put you on hold.
You gotta catch me. You gotta catch me first. I got this all planned out.
Look. The way that you describe yourself, it doesn't sound like you run very fast.
Hey? Yeah, well, you'll be surprised. And Rhett Seaver says, nice, she is amazing.
Oh, Rhett Seaver.
Yeah. Yep.
I love Rhett Seaver. He just contacted me recently about sending in a resume for an LGBT event. Everybody always wants me to play trans people, and it's like, just because I'm an ugly woman,
So, I mean, do you consider yourself trans, or?
I consider myself whatever the fuck you think I am.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I have female genitalia, and I love my body, and I love being a woman, and I love all the things that come with that. But damn, do I also love being a white guy in America? It's just the way that it is.
You almost sound like Louis C.K. saying that.
I love Louis C.K. He's so good. But yeah, I mean, I am whatever people think I am, and I'm okay with that. Like, it doesn't really matter unless we're gonna sleep together. I mean, because then it gets expensive to sleep with a penis if you have a vagina. To get the birth control, the lube, the condoms, the whole thing, and then on top of that, they get you pregnant. I mean, it's a lifetime of commitment.
Mm-hmm.
So it's rough.
Yeah. In fact, here's let me play this clip from Louis C.K. I enjoy being white.
Ooh, go ahead.
Sorry, so negative. I'm a bummer. I don't know. I shouldn't be. I'm a very, lucky guy. I got a lot going for me. I'm healthy. I'm relatively young. I'm white, which thank God for that shit, boy. That is a huge leg up. Are you kidding me? Oh, God, I love being white. I really do. Seriously, if you're not white, you're missing out, because this shit is thoroughly good. But let me be clear, by the way. I'm not saying that white people are better.
And mind you, this dude is Mexican as fuck.
Saying that being white is clearly better. Who could even argue? If it was an option, I would re-up every year. Oh, yeah, I'll take white again. Absolutely. I've been enjoying that. I'm going to stick with white. Thank you. Here's how great it is to be white. I could get in a time machine and go to any time, and it would be fucking awesome when I get there. That is exclusively a white privilege. Black people can't fuck with time machines. A black guy in a time machine is like, hey, anything before 1980? No, thank you. I don't want to go. But I can go to any time. The year 2? I don't even know what's happening then. But I know when I get there, welcome, we have a table right here for you, sir. Thank you. Oh, it's lovely here in the year 2.
I can go to any time. In the past. I don't want to go to the future and find out what happens to white people because we're going to pay hard for this shit. You got to know that. We're not going to just fall from number 1 to 2. They're going to hold us down and fuck us in the ass forever. And we totally deserve it. But for now, whee! Now, if you're white and you don't admit that it's great, you're an asshole. It is great. And I'm a man. How many advantages could one person have? I'm a white man. You can't even hurt.
Again, he's Mexican as fuck.
Hurt my feelings. What can you really call a white man that really digs deep? Hey, cracker. Oh, ruined my day. Boy, shouldn't have called me a cracker. Bringing me back to owning land and people. What a drag.
Yep.
And Louis C.K.
Louis C.K., yes. Owning land.
Very talented.
Owning land and people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I feel the same way being a guy. Is like I wake up, I'm like, wee! Okay, let's do this. Let's see how big I can get my muscles today. Let's see. Then I go back to sleep being all lazy. So
well, I mean, there are a lot of advantages to being a guy, and I identify as a gender capitalist because I like taking advantage of those advantages. Because it's like, instead of seeing yourself as being limited, you can see yourself as taking advantage of whatever gender has the most advantages in the moment. Like, for instance, if I were to be alive during the time of the Titanic, I would get myself a nice paying job on that ship as a beautiful, handsome, tall, well-built young man. But the minute that ship was sinking, I'd rip my tits out so fast and be like, women and children first, women and children. I'd be like, women. And those are just cultural advantages that happen, and that, you can kind of take advantage of.
Wow, that just bugged me. Just like, oh, okay. Only when it suits you. Oh, I don't want to die. Like, fuck. You mean I gotta You mean I gotta fucking swim in this freezing water?
You don't have to die. You don't have to swim in the freezing water. Someone's got to swim in the freezing water. They didn't have enough boats on the ship, but it didn't have to be divided by genitalia.
Or age.
Or age. There's a lot of things that we do in this society to divide people. We divide them by socioeconomics. We can divide them by race. We divide them by religion. We divide them by what state they live in. We divide them by what kind of shoes they wear. We divide them by if their eyesight is good or not. We divide them by, like, so many things. It's ridiculous. Because there's 7 billion people on the planet. We want to have the best that we can have in the world. It's like, And I refuse. I have a lot of good stuff to offer this world, and I refuse to be limited.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, damn right, I'm going to take advantage of it. I mean, if you're handing out free cupcakes, then I'm going to take the cupcake. And I don't want to be limited just because you're not handing out free cupcakes to vaginas. If what you need is a dick in order to be able to get that free cupcake, I'll walk up there and get it, because if that's the premise to it, it's like ridiculous. I want it. I want the best I can have so I can give the best I can give. And if you're a person who is oppressive, get out of my fucking way, because I have a lot of great stuff to give you. But if you get in my way by trying to limit me based on a binary law spectrum that, like, says just because you're genitalia you get this and you don't get this, you're not getting in my way. You're getting in your own way. You're getting in your way because you're getting directly in the path of my ability to give you a lot of good things.
So,
you know what I mean?
So how would you feel, because there are these women's only open mics happening. How would you feel if a gentleman just says, "Fuck it, I wanna perform at an open mic. I'm gonna put on this dress. I'm gonna shave my legs. I'm gonna, get these like fake tits that they sell at what the fuck's that store called? Well, whatever, these sex shops that sell stuff for cross-dressers. How would you feel if a gentleman just does that?
Well, I think that what you're talking about is very similar to your gentleman's club thing, where the women's only mic is a cultural thing. It's not necessarily a fuck you to guys, but if you're going to have gentlemen's clubs, then you got to be okay with women's only events as well, you know, because it is a cultural thing. I think it's kind of disrespectful for somebody to do that and try to contribute towards a culture. But then again, I also believe that people are just people and humans are humans. And this whole entire division thing, I think, is rather silly and ridiculous. But while we have it, anyone who's doing that is just desperately trying to get laid, I think. Like, I don't know. I don't know why somebody would go through all that trouble just to get to an open mic. They must be a really horrible performer or something. I don't know. Or maybe they just narcissistic. But
you know, there was this lawyer. His name is Roy Hollander. He actually tried to sue some bars here in New York for women for Women's Night because they got in cheap and they got better deal. They got to drink for free, but the men had to pay.
Oh yeah, I think that's very sexist, and I think that I think it's sexist for for us to expect women to get in for free and for men to pay at any club. You know, it's like, I think it's ridiculous. We should all just pay our equal dues.
But you'll take advantage of it.
Yeah, of course. If you're going to have that situation there, if you're going to try to make it so that I'm limited in any way, and if you're going to hand out free cupcakes, I'm going to take them. Mm-hmm. But I will also go in there and destroy your perception of what it is that you're handing out freebies to. Because when I go into a club as a female, like I go into a club, right? I show up in a dress. Because when I have my tits out, like, for some reason, you put tits and a dress together, and it basically means free entry. Cheers, guys. Dun, dun, dun. We're about to have a beer here while I'm on the radio with you. All right. But once I get in there, it's difficult. It's difficult because I am 6'2". I have short hair, and I have muscles, and I look kind of butchy. I don't mean to. It's just the way that I am. Mm-hmm. And I'm not necessarily going to be seen as a cute, beautiful girl based on society's commercial expectations of what a cute, beautiful, soft girl is that you can take advantage of at the end of the night. So, am I going to get free drinks from it? Likely not. Is somebody going to listen to me and about like my future business endeavors? Likely not. But as a nice white young guy that's pretty decently good looking and has that soft touch to them, and is sometimes surprisingly a ladies' man, I seem to get a lot more traction with my networking. So once I get into the club, I always change it to men's attire, just because people will be like, all right, well, they paid to get in here, they're clean, they're young, and I usually have a few lady friends with me, and I get a lot more opportunities because of that. It sucks that system exists, but I'm here to exploit that system and to talk about it and bring voice to the fact that it exists. And I'm going to take advantage of every single advantage that is given to a gender or a sex, because, yeah, I want the best. Don't you want the best? I mean, of course. If you could do it, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, take it, because you deserve it. I mean,
I would do it. I would do it just to prove a point and just laugh. Like, if you're gonna give me free shit, or if I could finagle a way to make myself eligible for the free shit, and without me having to wear a dress, because that's just how I'm wired. I'll do it. If I don't have to suck a dick or take it up the ass or wear a dress, I'll do it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I want to challenge you to do something.
Uh-oh.
And it's going to change the way that some people see sex and gender expressions in their jobs. I want to challenge you to do something tomorrow. Okay. And I don't know if you'll do it, but I feel like you are a brave man who can find the humor in things, and I want you to just kind of see it and own it. Okay. You ready for this?
Alrighty.
All right. So the challenge is this. When you walk into any facility tomorrow, any restaurant, any kind of situation in which a stranger, has to be a stranger, can't be someone you know, calls you sir or mister or anything that revolves around the fact that you have a penis,
Mm-hmm.
I want you to correct them and say, actually, it's ma'am. Actually, I'm a lady. Just say it and be very curious about it. Don't be angry. Just correct them and go on with your day. And see how that feels.
You know they'll start laughing because I have a beard and I look like a bear.
Exactly. You won't laugh, though. And you're just going to walk in, you're going to walk out. And they're going to laugh and they're going to be like, that's kind of weird. But then...
You can act like a man!
But that's...
What's the matter with you?
Oh, damn it. Sorry, Godfather.
But at some point, in that day, that person is going to flash back and they're going to be like, what was going on with that? Right? If you go to a, I almost want to take you out to eat tomorrow. I feel like if we go and we sit down at a restaurant,
Mm-hmm.
And you were to do that, and you were to be very adamant about it, don't enable, don't laugh, don't make it a joke. Be very serious. When they're like, yeah, but you have a beard, I'm sorry, I thought you were a guy. Just be like, I don't know how it's not obvious, but I am definitely a woman. And just be very insistent about it. You will blow their mind. You will change the way that they think about things.
I'll see if I could bring up the nerve to do it. I mean, I could probably call my dad now and just say, Dad, I think I'm a woman.
No, that doesn't count. You have to do it with a complete stranger.
Damn it. Yeah, because, he will know I'm bullshitting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's not a joke, though. You just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. Take out the ego, take out the pride, and just correct somebody. It's really interesting what happens, especially if you have a beard and you say you're a woman. It is so interesting. And and once you've developed your identity and you are clear about what you want, human beings are so interesting. They might laugh or something, but they will definitely respect you, and they will call you ma'am. They will call you miss. And they have to do it. And there's something very special about that kind of interaction.
Sir, your table. Excuse me, I'm a ma'am. There you go.
And they'll be like, ma'am or man? And you'll be like, I'm a lady.
I'm a sexy lady.
No, you can't say sexy because it's a joke. You just say, actually, I'm a lady. Yeah. It's very calm, casual, as if it happens all the time.
Yeah, I get this all the time. This is a hormonal issue here.
No, you don't even have to have an excuse for it.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to have an excuse. And you'd be surprised if you're very adamant like you're a lady.
I'm trying to weasel myself.
Like you have kind of handicap or something.
Trying to weasel my way out of it.
People talk louder around you. Like, they get weird. Like, people get really weird about it. It's great. I love it. They get upset. They're like pigeons, and they suddenly just poop. And then they're just like ruffled feathers the rest of the time you're around them. But it's so healthy for them.
What a troll. That's a troll.
Yeah.
Christy in the chat room says, that would be an awesome prank.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah. Well, can we do it like at an ultra-Orthodox Jewish restaurant?
Oh, absolutely. I think you could do it anywhere. Yeah, we should almost get someone to film you doing it, because I don't believe you're going to do it.
Yeah, I know.
I think you're a little sexist, but that's okay. I think you got a little bit of an ego. You'd be afraid of someone thinking that you're a woman.
Well, I mean, you seen that joke that I tagged you in, that you taught me that that gender is a construct of society, and I learned something about political lesbianism. So I was like, I'm proud to announce that I am a lesbian. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you can't question my gender, or that'll make you sexist.
And I won't question your sex or I won't question what your statements are about yourself. I don't really care. It doesn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to waste my life. Go for you. Like, you identify however you want to identify. If I want to sleep with you at some point, we'll figure it out on a deeper level. But otherwise, like, it doesn't affect my day-to-day with you or doesn't really change your sense of humor, and it doesn't necessarily change anything. Right? Like, you know what I mean? It's like people just get so upset about things that really don't affect them. And then because they get so upset about it, it affects them. It's like ridiculous.
All right. Oh, hold on. We got 2 chats. She's right. She called you out. You loosen up, Louie. I don't want to loosen up. That's my thing, being uptight. That's why I don't get drunk or high. I'm just afraid to get drunk or high because, you know, somebody might try.
Well, getting drunk or high doesn't equate letting loose.
Really?
I think a lot of people throw punches at you and that you put a guard up around yourself to protect yourself from them. It doesn't make you uptight. It just makes you on the defense all the time.
Hey, well, I grew up having to justify taking a shit.
Yeah.
I always had to have like, I'm going to the bathroom. Why? I gotta take a dump. Why? You shouldn't have eaten so much. Why you eat so much? If you didn't eat so much, you wouldn't have to take a dump.
So you grew up in a culture that fat shamed you.
Oh yeah. No. For the longest time, it's like my grandmother's friends would when they would call, they would say, you're gonna die alone because you're fat." I'm like, and then I was like, well, you're gonna die alone because you're old and no one loves you.
See, and that's the thing is, you know, that so many people hated on you that, you know, through comedy you're allowed to kind of hate on everyone else and take the distraction away from you, you know. And that's such an interesting thing. But it also makes it so that you have your guard up around you a lot, and like you're kind of closed off to being able to think more progressively or equally, because you constantly feel a threat from the things around you because people have threatened you all your life.
Oh, that's
you know,
that's the truth. I mean, I always make this joke. I'm always at Orange Plus.
Yeah.
And on the the terror alert. I'm always.
Did you grow up in a predominantly female environment?
Well, my dad was around until I was 14. I mean, my parents divorced, so, but
right.
I lived with my mom, so she,
right.
She discouraged a lot of things that, you know, was normal for boys to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Do you feel maybe some of your sexism towards women stems from that particular thing? I mean, you had a divorce, you had your mom.
No, it comes from junior high school, getting my ass kicked by chicks because they wanted to prove they weren't attracted to me because I was fat.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. Fat shaming is a real thing, and it's so hard, and it's so shameful that people do that to you.
I mean, and you know what? I don't get mad at chicks that are not attracted to fat guys. Just be honest about it, because if you don't start talking to me like I'm some fucking sex offender when you don't put no fat guys in your profile, and then I come around because you put, oh, I'm looking for a guy with a sense of humor that's caring and loving, and I'm gonna fucking respond, yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, that and of course, falsely accused of rape when I was 19. So.
Oh man, so I can see where a lot of your angst comes from. I mean, it sucks because we live in a culture that, well, when you're over the age of 40 or 50, we tend to glorify plus give a little bit of esteem to people who are above the average BMI. Mm-hmm. It's a weird thing. But until you hit in your 40s or 50s, that glory isn't going to come to you. But it is really sad to hear that was part of your past. But it definitely makes a lot more sense to me now, because I was like, man, you're such a kind guy. You're a really good guy, and you have such a big heart. And I can feel that like you care a lot, and you actually have an ego. You And an ego comes from a place of caring. And to hear somebody who does come from such a place of caring and does have that ego behind them,
oh, you got tricked.
Be so.
You got tricked.
You do. Don't. I didn't know I did not.
You got tricked. No,
I did not.
I'm a fucking curmudgeon, and I know it.
No, you want to be, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't be it at the expense of other people's, mental well-being or mental health.
And I'm a demon. I know it. Don't worry.
It's okay. Look at you. You've been saying it with like a little doughboy voice. I'm a demon. Ha ha.
That's doughboy. I'm a demon. I'm Batman.
No.
I'm Batman.
Is that your sex voice? This is why you're having a hard time. It had nothing to do with your body type.
My sex voice. That's not my. This is my sex voice. Oh yeah, you're a dirty girl, don't you? Oh, you like getting spanked.
Do I have to pay for this? Is this like a minute per soundbite?
Oh, don't worry.
thing?
Don't worry. This whole interview has been charged to your phone carrier.
Fantastic, because you're calling me via Skype, so we're all good.
Yeah, we're all good. Say.
I'll just send it to the government.
Well, write it off. Obama will take care of it.
Yeah, well, technically that's us.
Yeah.
Oh man.
At least it gets spaced out. So,
Yeah.
All right. So, any projects you want to promote that that you want, where you want people to check you out, or how people can hire you, where they could where they could see your stuff. I mean, what's your back page profile? I'm just kidding.
Well, I'm very easy to find. I'm on Instagram as Rain Dove Model, RAINDOVEMODEL. That's my Twitter handle as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm on Facebook as Rain Dove, 2 separate words. I have a article that just came out in BuzzFeed. There'll be another campaign coming out for Ace Rivington Attire, which is going to be a menswear campaign. It's a really big deal. I'm so excited about it because it's not a high-end menswear where it's unobtainable and in only like super expensive catalogs with the fancy tear-outs. This is a commercial campaign, which means that you're going to see it in commonplace things. So it's obtainable to the everyday person, the average person, which I'm really excited about. You'll see it in like department store opportunities and on websites and things like that. So it's going to be accessible. And I can't say what it's about, but all I'll say is it's going to be one of the most controversial campaigns of this season for sure. If not, maybe one of the most controversial of this year. So I'm super stoked. And yeah, I have a blog. It's called On Being a Woman, and where's it at? It's on Blogspot. So if you type in Rain Dove, On Being a Woman, blogspot.com, you'll see there's a series of blog articles that follow my adventures on the daily and the struggles of what it's like to be a man, the struggles of being a woman, and the struggles of just being a human being. And so that's pretty exciting too.
Yeah, that's raindovethe.model.blogspot.com. Again, that blog again, check her out, raindovethe.model.blogspot. I can't talk to now. .blogspot.com.
Mm-hmm.
And you really need to blog more because you haven't blogged since March 5th, 2015. So get on that.
I will, yeah. I wait for the right things to blog about. I don't just write a bunch of shit. I don't post selfies and like post like random things. I only write when my heart feels inspired to do so. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm gonna get on it. There's a new article coming out very shortly about said men's campaign, and I guarantee you it's gonna piss off a lot of people. But my dad always used to say it's better to be pissed off than pissed on, unless you're into that shit.
Speaking about your parents, I just see a picture of your mom.
Isn't she hot?
How she doesn't even? She looks like she's in her 20s.
I know. My mom is so hot. She is. She's a she's amazing. And she's off the market. Sorry, gentlemen and gentle ladies. But she's amazing. She's a naturopathic doctor, holistic healer. She lives in the middle of the woods, 2 miles away from the nearest neighbor. And she's completely off the grid with only a tiny bit of solar power, just enough to charge her phone in case she needs to call 911 because a bear broke in. And she works off in the barter system with healing
do you have
herbs and stuff.
Do you have any
She's
picnic
amazing.
baskets?
Yeah. She's really incredible and really inspirational. I actually just visited my mom, and it was like, you know, the one thing that's important is even though I was Just Brilliant and Elle and Mary Claire and like all these huge magazines that like I grew up with, I go back to Vermont, and it doesn't matter if I was wearing Prada. It doesn't matter if I was like, I could be like in Vogue right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're still gonna put on mud boots and run the chainsaw and like go and like help my mom put firewood in, and you don't forget where you came from. And like, like
Actually,
my manicure is so messed up, but it's the truth. You can't forget where you came from, and
Right.
like I'm so proud to have come from her and from Vermont. So
She actually sounds like one of my listeners, Christy Afroviti. She actually she makes her own healing oils.
oh really?
Yeah, she
Oh,
does.
that's cool. Hi, Christy.
Yeah, she has her own radio show as well, called Soul Journeys, and she talks about living off the grid and naturopathic healing and all that.
She should talk to my mom. My mom has the most incredible story. Like, I grew up with this amazing human being, and I grew up with this in this environment, and it has really shaped and defined my ability to be in this industry and not fall apart. The only reason why I'm able to stay focused and deal with so much rejection is because of that upbringing and because of like the herbs and the therapy and the things that like the culture that I grew up in, and like you experience a lot of failure growing up off the grid. You know what I mean? Things are simple, but they're hard. They're very hard, and you experience a lot of friction. And when you get into the Big Apple and your only friction is the fact that somebody doesn't like you, it really doesn't like feel like anything. It's not having to haul a huge pile of like, wood through like, 4-foot snowdrifts in the wintertime, 1.5 miles to the house because that's the nearest like place to pick up. It's like nothing. But my mom, I will do a shout out for my mom's Instagram. My mom's Instagram is Mother Nature's Mountain. She just started it the other day, and she has some pictures of what she does and everything, and she's really incredible. I can't say enough about my mom. She's great.
Mother Nature's Mountain.
Mhm.
And okay. Flower Instagram photo. Oh wait, goodness, just Instagram. And okay, that awkward silence. I found it. Yo, seriously, how old is she?
Right? She looks so hot and so young. She's amazing. I hope I inherited her genes.
Yeah.
I used to think I was adopted.
She seriously looks like your younger sister.
Wouldn't you date her? Would you not date my mom?
Of course I would.
Right? I know.
In fact,
Amazing.
I'll probably try to steal away from your dad now, Puerto Rican style.
Well, my dad and my mom are divorced, but my mom is dating this wonderful guy named Jerry.
Sorry, Jerry.
However, Jerry, you're in trouble.
Oh, and
no.
here's the picture of her with the herbs. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, Christy would. My friend Christy, if she saw this picture, she would actually orgasm. In fact, let me put it in the chat room for her, so she could get all jealous and shit.
Yeah, she should do a talk though. I think she would really. My mom's the real deal. People can't. I don't think most people could really handle that lifestyle. She has to park 2 miles away from her house and hike in, and then,
Wow.
like she splits her own firewood, and she's just hard. She's so badass and so hardcore. Like,
Yep.
I'm only a percentage of hardcore. I did a lot of boy chores, but my mom now does them like all by herself, and like whenever I show up, she always puts me right to work. But she's really great.
Of course, that's moms. Moms, you gotta. When I go there, it's like fix my computer, and so like my father too. Like my father, he calls me. He's like, "Hey, like Louis, I need you to fix the computer." And I'm like, okay, I will fix it. Have you tried turning it on or turning it off? No, quit fucking around. Quit fucking around. You know I did that shit. Why don't you install that Linux like you did on your computer? I'm like, cause Dad, if I did it on yours, I would have to come here every day to fix whatever bullshit you did.
Yeah, parents are amazing.
Yeah. And all he does is just go on Facebook. That's it. Yep, Christy's like totally me. She just like your mom. Well, there you go, Christy. I go make friends. Go make
friends.
Go have a play date with Rain's mom. Exchange cancer killing recipes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Christy, she actually cured someone with gangrene.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Well, I think those two would get along very well.
Yes.
And they'd have a very interesting chat. So maybe I'll check out the chat room later on and go Christy and be like,
so anyway,
talk to my mom. She's so cool.
Yes, she is. So with that being said, any last words? Any last words of wisdom you would like to impart to the peoples?
Yeah, the most unique thing you can be is you. So do it.
Alrighty then. So I'd like to thank Christy. Well, first I'd like to thank Rain for coming on. This was fun. I hope you weren't too nervous. I hope you weren't too nervous with the chance of dealing with my malarkey.
No, absolutely not. I feel like it was more of a therapy session for you, though, than
Don't worry, it wasn't. It's yeah. So as I'd like to thank Christy for coming on, Ashton for coming on, Andrew, Liz, of course, Liz for coming on. Shout outs to Rain's mom, Rhett Seaver, and Jesus Christ. If it weren't for you, we wouldn't be here. God bless. And as always, from my house to your house, mahalo.
That's my show, donk.